Hey, welcome back to the garage. Before we get started on the first video to our beginner birdhouse woodworking series, I'd like to give a special thanks to Suzume Hand Tools for being a part of today's build. If you're looking for automotive tools that are budget friendly and comparable to top leading brands like Snap-on, then stick around until later where I take you inside my son's garage to have him give you a side-by-side comparison to his digital Snap-on against the Suzume torque wrench. So before I start cutting any of the dimensions, the first thing that I do with the pickets is I sand them down and then I rip one edge so I have one clean side to work with. After that, I'll flip it over and then I'll take my final dimension, which in this case is going to be 5 1/4. Once we have the clean edge to work with, we can go ahead and move the fence over to the 5 1/4 I mentioned just a second ago. I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera down below so that you can see how I cut these in order to make this as simple and seamless as possible for you prior to getting ready to glue and nail it together. I wanna let you know that all angles on this are gonna be 22.5 degrees on your miter saw or 90. Before you get started, the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna square up this end of it. Once you do that, we can set our saw to 22.5, measure over 10 3/4 to make our first cut for our side piece. After you have that, flip your board over. And you can either pull 10 3/4 again, or you can just use this one to make a template. And now you'll have an exact match, even if you're off a little bit on your measurement. Slide it over, flip back to 90, line it up. So because we're measuring long point to long point, the next measurement that you're gonna have is 12 5/8. So you can go ahead and mark your 12 5/8 off your 90. And flip your saw over to 22.5 that way. When you're done, the piece will look like this. So without changing the angle of the blade and knowing that we're going long point to long point, we can leave the blade sit right where it's at, flip the board over, measure over 8 1/2, and go ahead and cut that one. When you're done, your next piece is going to look like this. For the next measurement, the front of the birdhouse, we have 8 9/16. We can go ahead and flip our saw back to 90, measure over from our long point, 8 9/16, and make that cut. And this is what you're left with. All right, so we only have 3 more steps left to go in order to complete the very first birdhouse of our beginner birdhouse woodworking series. I figured now would be the best time to take a break from that and head over to my boy's garage to ask him for that side-by-side comparison video of the Suzume torque wrench up against his Snap-on that he uses every day for the same job. So let's head over there, get him to do the comparison, and ask him what his thoughts are. Introduce us being in the shop.
Mm-hmm. Here's my boy, and I'll say Tom Brady.
Yep. No, not Tom Brady. We got to find somebody cooler than Tom Brady. So we're inside the shop here with my son, and he's going to give you a walkthrough on the torque wrench and explain to you the side-by-side comparison with the Snap-on digital that he uses every day inside his garage. So you want to go ahead and just show him what you use, and then we'll give a comparison to the torque wrench.
Okay, so we have a Snap-on digital set at 20 foot-pounds. There's the first bolt. Second one. You really have a bloopers page? I said, you really have a bloopers page?
No.
There's your initial click. Right on the dot. Snap-on set at 100 foot-pounds. There you go.
So side-by-side comparison, what do you think about the Suzume hand tool?
They are pretty accurate and probably a lot cheaper.
Done.
Wasn't so bad.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
So now that our little detour is out of the way, hopefully you enjoyed that. I know personally, this is a woodworking video, but I do like going over and seeing the boy every chance I get and seeing him in his environment. He's definitely one of my favorite people, so, you know, hopefully you enjoyed that as much as I did. Now, as far as what we're gonna need for assembly, 1 1/8" hole saw, 1 1/4" exterior Power Pro screw, countersink bit. I'm using a 5/16" drill bit for ventilation on our bottom, but you know, you can use 3/8", quarter, whatever you think you want, just to add a little bit of ventilation. Brad nailer and wood glue. So let's get it all put together and then we'll cut to fit the bottom. Like to start with the back and then the sides. Then we can start with the top that we have the 2 miters on. And it'll go just like that. flush it up. Part of the reason that I do it the way that I do it is because the fence pickets tend to have a warp or a bow in them. So if you assemble as you go, it kind of makes it easier to make those slight adjustments rather than just cutting everything out like the bottom and then realizing that because of a warp or a bow, it doesn't quite fit right. Now, you can do this one or two ways. You can either attach this first and then drill the hole, or you can drill the hole first. Because I have the hole saw and 9 times out of 10, the chunk is gonna get stuck in there, I'll just do it this way and I can make my adjustment down here on the bottom. So we can go ahead and drill our hole right now. I'm gonna pull down 3 inches from the top of the board, just like that. And because our board was 5 1/4 wide, we're gonna pull over 2 5/8. Inside the community tab, I'm gonna upload a fully finished version of the model with the measurements that we use today. I will include the bottom measurements according to the diagram, but just know if you pre-cut everything, including the bottom to the measurements on the model, depending on what you have for wood, just know that it may not fit correctly, and that's why I like to just pop this in separately once it's to this point. So we can go ahead and pull that measurement now. 4 1/8. 4 1/8. So 4 1/8 is good on the width. And we can call it 5 5/16 on the length. So once you have your bottom piece cut, you can go ahead and set it in there. And if you happen to cut it just a little bit shy, which I think is a good idea to do so you can drop it in and out easily, what you can do is you can take just a scrap from the cutoff that you made and use it to shim in the bottom and hold it exactly where you need it when you get ready to drill your holes. Just like that. I have a really big crown on this side. You can see the board comes this way, but I know that once I screw it in, it's gonna hold everything the way I want it. So, we can take it, because we have it flush, and actually we should probably screw in those 2 first and make our final adjustments on the other side. And there you have it. The very first birdhouse in your birdhouse woodworking series. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up, and I'll leave links in the description to the schematic that I'm going to upload later on inside of the community page with the overall dimensions. If you happen to see the blueprint that I made prior, there is a couple variations, so I will make sure that I let you know exactly which one it is. So thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing my boy's shop, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you stuck around this long and you watched me fumble my way through the entire video, I just want to let you know there's a couple things that I didn't do on this birdhouse that you see in more traditional birdhouses or images of birdhouses, as well as a couple things that I did that I want to point out why. For a very basic beginner birdhouse, I used the screws in the bottom instead of a hinge. I felt like that was going to be something that everybody had readily accessible. I didn't put a perch on this. They recommend that you don't have a perch due to predators, predator birds, snakes. It gives them something to sit on. 1 1/8" is perfect for sparrows and starlings. So if you're actually wanting to attract birds and hang this up on your house, which I'm assuming you are, no perch, 1 1/8", most common birds. The bottom, I did let you know that we use the drill bit, the 5/16. That's the way that I had added the ventilation. Also, I left 1.5 inches up top here, and the reason is because now you can hang it and mount it. If you're going to put it on a fence or in a tree or wherever you're going to mount it, that's why I left the overhang on top of that. So again, sorry for rushing through the video. Forgot to point those things out. But like I said, if you stuck around this long, clearly you want to see how it was built, and that's the reason that I had built it that way. Now we're done.